Maybe we should consider exploring more of our own oceans than putting so much time and effort into going into outer space? A vast majority of our oceans are unexplored, and maybe it's because there are some scary looking fish out there. From extremely poisonous octopuses to fish you would throw back in the water immediately if you caught one while fishing. Here are the most horrifying deep sea creatures. But first, we want to give a quick shout out to PLD for letting us know which warriors we left off our list. We were waiting for someone to mention the Mongolians in order to feature them in an upcoming video. Let us know in the comments section what topics you'd like to see done Americanized style, and maybe we'll not only do the topic, but also feature your comment. Now let's get started. Number 14. Anglerfish. You really couldn't imagine anything wanting to mate with this thing, let alone never wanting to let it go. If you think your boyfriend or girlfriend is clingy, imagine being the anglerfish. This thing is found deep under the water, and not only does it look horrifying, it has a horrifying mating ritual as well. The male anglerfish really only has one goal in his mind, finding that special other anglerfish. Not just because they're looking for love, but because if they don't, they will literally die. Once he finds a female willing to do the deed, he fuses onto her with his teeth and essentially becomes a parasite. This is where the bizarre never-ending relationship begins. Here you can see the two become one in this bizarre photo. The female provides him with nourishment from the circulatory system, and he provides her with sperm in order to reproduce. Number 13. Giant isopods. Although these giant isopods do resemble bugs or cockroaches, which are pretty creepy, they are actually extremely large crustaceans who can grow to be about 2.5 feet in length. Besides haunting your nightmares, these are found at the bottom of the ocean and are rather harmless. They're mostly scavengers who eat fish who already died from natural causes. Others believe they do eat animals like sponges from time to time, so watch out, SpongeBob SquarePants. One giant isopod in Japan went 5 years without one bite of food. Incredible. But they do enjoy a nice large meal once they do eat. These bottom dwellers live about 7,000 feet deep, possibly even deeper, and enjoy the muddy seafloor as shelter. Scientists aren't actually sure why these things get so large, but it's believed that the huge size and the shells have helped them survive the enormous amount of pressure found at the bottom of the ocean. Would anyone consider eating this thing for lunch? Let us know in the comment section. Number 12. Viperfish. It almost looks like a normal fish until you look at its teeth. Then you realize that this thing must live at the bottom of the ocean. It's noticeable with its snake-like body and sharp needle-like teeth. These fish can grow to be about 2 feet long and are certainly found at the deep depths of the ocean. They can go as low as about 5,000 feet, but prefer shallower depths at night. The colors may vary depending on what region they choose as their habitat, such as green, silver, and black. The fang-like teeth paralyzes a victim, and they enjoy eating harmless lanternfish and bristlemouse. Number 11. The Gulper eel. This is most likely one of the most bizarre sea creatures you'll ever run into, and it's nicknamed the pelican eel because of the bizarre shape of the mouth. It's rarely seen by humans, considering how deep it can go in the water. The large mouth is much wider than its body, and the hinged jaws allow it to swallow prey much larger than itself. The stomach can expand to accommodate large fish, squid, and even crustaceans. The tiny teeth don't serve much of a role in digestion, but they sure do make this thing look more creepy. Number 10. The blue-ringed octopus. Even though it might look sort of cool and not quite as intimidating as the others, the blue-ringed octopus is not something you want to mess with. This deep-sea creature is extremely poisonous, and there is no cure if you get stung by one. It contains a deadly poison that pufferfish have, known as tetrodotoxin. There is no antivenom for this, so once you get stung, game over. It can be noticed with its blue and black rings. They can hunt small prey such as crabs, hermit crabs, and shrimp. It's also hiding a sharp beak which can pierce through a hard crab shell. Number 9. The Blobfish. Also known as the world's ugliest animal, the blobfish doesn't take its blob form until it's out of the water. In fact, it looks sort of like a normal fish until you take it out of the ocean. This is due to its lack of muscles and bones, and it's primarily a gelatinous organism with a body that's primarily made of water. Its lack of muscles, however, isn't a huge disadvantage, and it primarily eats edible flakes of floating sea matter, also known as marine snow. From time to time, they'll also eat crustaceans. They're native off the coast of Australia and New Zealand, deep below the sea. Very little is really known about these alien-like creatures, except that they might be in danger due to commercial fishing. Number 8. Nomur's jellyfish. In our never-ending quest of finding life on other planets, we can't forget about all the strange alien-like creatures living on Earth already. We might not even need to look for alien life on other planets, because these creatures seem like aliens on Earth. Things like the Nomura's jellyfish make you ask yourself if it's possible this thing was brought here from a different planet. This giant gelatinous creature can grow up to be about 6.5 feet long and actually weighs 400 pounds. These are mostly found in the waters between Korea and China, but have also been seen popping up along the shores of Japan lately. Jellyfish have been around for over 700 million years, and who knows how they were made. Number 7. The Stargazer. With eyes like that sticking out of the water, this is something you really don't want to walk on while walking on the beach. Luckily, it's found deep enough to the point where you likely won't end up stepping on it. These fish bury themselves into the sand and jump up to capture prey when it swims by. The sand camouflages them and makes unsuspecting fish their lunch. In case that wasn't enough, this thing can deliver lethal electric shocks. When they do come out of the sand, they ain't all that pretty either. You'll notice how their eyes are on the top of their head, almost like some kind of alien creature. Some places even find this strange creature to be a delicacy once the electric organ is removed and can be found at fish markets in China. Number 6. Barreleye Fish. The spooky thing about this fish is that its head is transparent, allowing you to see its brain. Imagine if people were like that. This intriguing fish has barrel-shaped tubular eyes that are sensitive to light, which is why it prefers to live at the bottom of the ocean. The eyes are generally directed upward, so instead of looking forward, it's normally looking to the top of the ocean, but they can also be directed to be looking forwards too. The eyes are quite powerful for a fish, and there's a transparent dome that covers them. If you caught one of these things while fishing, you throw it right back into the water immediately. Number 5. Transparent Eel. The transparent eel has compressed bodies that contain similar organic material to jellyfish inside their body with a thin layer of muscle on the outside. They have one singular straight tube that functions as their digestive system. They seem to feed on floating organic matter known as marine snow. They're found worldwide, but mostly in tropical latitudes. Their good swimming ability makes them hard to catch and be studied by marine biologists. These are sometimes eaten raw by people in Japan and dipped in vinegar. Would you be willing to give one a taste? Number 4. Crocodile Ice Fish. When your blood is as cold as ice, you might have some see-through blood like this crocodile ice fish. It's found primarily around Antarctica and around the southern tip of South America. They're believed to be ambush predators and can survive long periods of time between eating. When they do eat, they can consume up to 50% of their own body weight. Imagine trying to do that. The fish have made fairly drastic adaptations to the cold water, and their blood contains no hemoglobin. Number 3. The Goblin Shark. This species of deep-sea shark gets its nickname as the Goblin Shark for its cringe-worthy appearance. It also sometimes gets the nickname of the living fossil because its lineage can be traced to be about 125 million years ago. This shark has pink skin and easy to identify from its long snout and sharp teeth. It's found lurking in the oceans at depths greater than 330 feet. The goblin shark has jaws that extend quite drastically when it's feasting on things like dragonfish, rat tails, crustaceans, just to name a few. Adult sharks normally measure to be about 10 to 13 feet long. The largest recorded one, however, was estimated to measure about 20 feet. Luckily, these pose no great threat to humans because they're found at such great depths. A few have been put in aquariums, but they generally don't live long in captivity. Number 2. Frilled Sharks. The frilled shark gets its name for its bizarre gills that go all the way across its throat, making it unique from other sharks. It might not look terrifying at first, but once you take a closer look at its teeth, it might make your heart skip a beat. It has over 300 pitchfork-looking teeth, and it's certainly something you wouldn't want to get your hand caught on. Scientists believe that the bright whiteness of the frilled shark's teeth lure unsuspecting fish into their mouth. Once they realize that these spikes are indeed teeth, it's already too late. With its snake-like body, it can snag fish like a cobra would attack a mouse. It's found in many parts of the world, but due to the fact that they prefer the deep seas, you probably won't see it. This thing is also related to the freaky goblin shark that we just mentioned. Number 1. Hydrothermal Worms. Getting a microscope might seem like a cool way to learn about scientific things, but after looking up close at this image of a hydrothermal worm under an electron microscope, you might think twice about getting one. This is not Photoshop by any means, folks. This image was taken by Philip Crassus, and after zooming in 525 times closer. Most people won't get the chance to see the real thing, luckily, because it's so tiny. But they're only found in hydrothermal vents in the ocean deep below the sea. With teeth like those, it really seems like some kind of mutant shark. So what'd you guys think of that video? Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out my channel over here, American Eye. We'll see you there.